How's it going, my friends? Welcome to our first episode of Pana'Gringo. That's right, the podcast for living in Panama. And I am here with two awesome guests today, but our first guest, a dear friend, someone I've known for a while, working in the relocation industry. We have Miss Lee. She's the director of the United School of Panama. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm very excited. Very excited for you as well.
I appreciate it, obviously. It's our first podcast, and we have such lovely guests. And, I wanted to bring you on to obviously help people out there not only understand the values of lifestyle here in Panama, but obviously those that have school-age children, what they should be looking for in a private school when they are looking at Panama. Because, there's obviously some great options out there, and your school is definitely one that we hear from our clients that they just love. They love, the way that you educate, the standards that you run by. But before we get into the school, I want to talk to you a little bit about why you came to Panama and why you chose the education industry.
I got very lucky coming to Panama. Grew up in Boston, born and raised, and then started traveling the world, really just for pleasure. But then I really found myself coming to Panama. We were living actually in Spain right before it. And I really needed something tropical. So
you definitely find it here.
We found Panama, and I fell in love since the first day. Literally seeing how culture, life, food, movement. I mean, Panama has a little bit of everything, but everything wrapped into its own paradise.
You're not lying, and especially people that like the outdoors, like for me being from the Pacific Northwest in the United States, it's not quite as cold as Boston, but it's definitely, not tropical. And for me, I was always someone that wanted to chase the sunshine. And
Definitely.
Coming down to Panama and discovering this beautiful country, the culture, the Panamanian people, the other cultures that live in this country. I mean, I definitely want to talk to you about the demographics, which we'll talk about soon. But, just as a lifestyle element, my best friend's from Italy. I have dear friends from Venezuela, Colombia, Germany, Australia. We're a big melting pot here in this country.
Definitely, most definitely. And that's what I really love, because coming from Boston is one of the biggest melting pots in the U.S. I mean, you have over 40 universities in the city, so it brings people from all over the world. And that's what I was really missing, and that's what I wanted to see. And I was very lucky to find that here in Panama. So you have food, you have languages, you have just culture all around you. It's a beautiful, beautiful array of just everybody all living the lifestyle here. I mean, Panama, I will tell you, the quality of life here, you will not find in most places of the world. And that's why Panama has become home very, very quickly.
And for a lot of people, and I hear that time and time again from our clients, is that they just feel like it doesn't matter if you're from the US or you're from Canada or you're from Europe or Venezuela, like you just can let your hair down.
And language acquisition here is very, very easy. When you drop in and you don't know a lick of Spanish, I mean, you're going to get it pretty fast.
I'm almost there still.
But as well, a lot of Panamanians know a lot of English. So
yeah, of course.
You've got that Spanglish going on, and it's really nice because then eventually you're able to communicate, get around, and start living.
I agree. Now, I definitely want to start talking about the school, but I want to welcome our other guest. So our other guest, he is another dear friend, obviously working with publications here in Panama. I've gotten to know this gentleman. He's come down from Venezuela, and he does amazing things in the gastronomic industry. And Felipe, tell me your last name. I always have a problem with your last name. It's the Latin last names.
It's Mallorca.
Mallorca. And let's talk about your latest, because, obviously health is a big thing in a lot of people's lives. And, you've done a lot of great things in the restaurant industry here in Panama. However, now you're really focused on health, but not just health, making a beautiful restaurant scene, something that you can go out on a fancy date with your significant other and still eat healthy, which is very important. So let's talk a little bit about what brought you to Panama and your latest creation.
Well, I moved here to Panama. I come from the U.S. I was an executive chef over there. So I moved here because one of my family opened a restaurant years ago. And well, we started making like a business restaurant, and spent many years, many different opening restaurants and doing things. And now we got Scarola is a new one. I have a business partner. She's a beautiful woman, and she was thinking about healthy food. So I have to restudy again, because I was many years making the regular way to get the kitchen. So I have to study again, because all the people now is changing their minds about food. There's many medicine articles saying that you cannot eat this, you cannot eat that, so you have to change the way. And if you change inside, you can change your mind too. So that's a new way we find to make a new kitchen and Escarola.
Wow, I love it, and again, you've always been someone that I've been impressed with. You've always been so adapting not only to the local market and what needs to happen with your restaurants. You're always doing great events and doing specials. Let's talk a little bit about, obviously you have a health food proposal, but let's talk about you do different things throughout the week and throughout the months. Obviously, people can go to your Instagram page and can stay up to date with those things. So let's talk to people about your Instagram page and also some of these events that you're doing.
All right. Well, on Escarola, you can find 3 different menus. We have 2 different moments to eat. We have the breakfast, the lunch, and the dinner. But all of them have the healthy food. You can see on Instagram. We have, this Saturday, we have live music. Escarola, we have the part we want to show the people that you can have a dinner with somebody special, have a healthy way to eat. But if you don't have that way, you can meet in Escarola, because if you want to get on your diet, you can still there and have a fancy dinner. But if the other people don't have like a diet or light food, he can eat regular way too.
I love it. That's amazing. Well, again, thank you so much for being here for our first episode of Pana'Gringo. We appreciate you. But I want to jump back over to Lee. Again, because we work so strongly with so many individuals moving to Panama from all around the world, I want to talk again about your education proposal. Again, your school is definitely one of the top schools that we love bringing our clients to have a tour, to understand your educational program. But let's talk a little bit about that, and let's talk about the proposal that you offer students at your school.
I think one of the main things that parents have to see nowadays, because the whole entire game field has completely changed. And as parents, a lot of times we just trust. But we have to start remembering we are in 2025. We're preparing children for 2045.
Yeah,
what type of world is it going to look like then? What are the skills necessary to be able to face whatever is about to come up? And so that's why when you're looking at schools, one of my biggest pieces of advice for all parents is to find a school where whatever the values you have at home, whatever it is you want to see for your children, it should very much match the school's values.
100%.
Why? We are second home. Babies are going to be with us the majority of their waking hours, then with you guys at home. So that's why it's very important. We're all in the same boat, rowing towards the same goal. And so that's why we have to be the most transparent possible. And I think that that's why it's so important for parents to get to know every single school, because there are choices. Unlike what you're going to find probably in the States is you live here, you go to school here. Here in Panama, it's a very different type of setting where you have your home, but you're going to have to go and do your homework, get to know what not only their programs are about, but who are they as a school? What are they fighting for? What is their mission? What is their vision? And how fast are they rowing towards all of those goals? So when you're going to get to know schools, it's important to really take those things into account, because it's going to really tell you the outcome of everything.
Everything that your child has,
Yeah.
And again, like you mentioned that, a child wakes up, during the week and they have maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours before they go to school.
Yeah.
And so It's a massively important element. And, that's one thing that I find about the Panamanian private schools is that you guys do such a great job on diversifying the education, and staying up to date with technology, robotics, things of interest for the children, and also things that they could use to develop skills for the future.
I mean, those are all must. Those are things that we can't skip around. We can't keep looking for what we know. And that's what parents do. When they go to schools, okay, well, I used to go to school like this. So then you go and you trust and you see because you know it. We have to remember that we're preparing children for a world that's completely different.
So different.
So that's why you have to start looking at not just the what, because the what is the base of every school, but it's the how. What does the school say about how students actually learn? That's why environment plays such a huge role. So when we started developing United School of Panama, I will tell you that I am a very blessed person in this world. We started off here with our preschools because I became a mother, and it was, of course, the most life-changing moment of all of us who are blessed to be parents.
Of course.
And it really sets your priorities in order. And so we start off with our preschools. We teach 5 languages starting from 10 months up. And that for me was the all-American dream, to be with my daughter, working at the same time, and something that I love. I mean, what more could I ask for? But then parents kept asking, and then what? And what after? And it really started off as
and
a
your
joke.
Entrepreneurship kicked in and said, hey, let's take this to the next level.
It started off as a joke, but then we started looking at land just to see what it would look like, and then boom. We started our construction February of 2020. And when you actually look at the school, it's very Boston-like because it has all of the pillars, and those pillars represent foundations of USP and our values. And we had those pillars up within 2 weeks. And then, of course, came pandemic. So we hit a snag, but after, in August 2020, we got back our permits, and within 11 months, we were able to build 95% of phase 1 and open on time. So when I talk about schools, I also talk about the people who are behind the school.
Of course.
Why? Because that's going to tell you not only how fast they're willing to work, but how far we're willing to go. So even if the world is falling down all around, our promise made is a promise kept for us. But really, it was the push from our community, pushing us to open something that we didn't have. And I think that's one of the beautiful things about Panama. It's that growth. It's people can feel and be part of that growth that you won't find in other countries.
I love that. Well, and again, I can't stress this enough, that how many different cultures from around the world are coming to Panama and creating a new life here. Obviously, it has to do with safety. It has to do with medical services, school options, and just being able to be outdoors. I mean, you can be doing so many great things here in the city. You can jump on a plane or a ferry and be in an archipelago, either on the Pacific side or the Caribbean side. You could be hiking through the mountains, picking coffee cherries,
Totally.
There's so many options for lifestyles here. And again, you don't just have to go live in Boquete or live in Panama City or live in Venao. Even if you live in the city, you can take these weekend trips. It's just a short drive or a short flight.
I mean, Panama's full of opportunities.
So much, yeah.
And so it's really kind of let this beautiful country lead you to places that you didn't even imagine for yourself.
Of course.
And I think that's the beauty of curiosity. And it doesn't matter how old you are or where you are, whichever part you are in your life. If you have young children, if you're already retiring, I mean, there's something for everyone here. And I think that is the true beauty of this country.
I couldn't agree more. I love how you put that. Now, I do want to know, because obviously you have so many different cultures in your school. Let's talk about the demographics. Where are people coming from? How many different countries of children, that are relocating? I mean, obviously you're very close to Costa del Este in Santa Maria. Yeah. This is a very known for area. It's the Miami of Panama with all the infrastructure underground. It's a pre-planned area. And we're seeing a lot of multinational families moving there because there's a lot of multinational companies. Yeah. So let's talk about the demographics of your children.
Right now, we represent 41 countries.
Wow, that's incredible.
Quite a lot, and still growing. I mean, we've only been open since 2021, so I can imagine. But really, when you look at our families, either it's Panamanian married to an international, so again, strong roots in the country.
Of course.
Or you might have two internationals, but have business in the country. So I would approximate about 60 to 70% of our population of families are entrepreneurs and own their own businesses here in the country. So in terms of the demographic, you're not going to see so much movement like you would in other schools, because most schools, they sell their spots over to multinationals. So there's movement every 1 or 2 years. With our demographic, because they have so much holding and roots in the country, there's really little to no movement. So it's a beautiful thing to see how the culture of USP, which is very entrepreneurial spirited, attracts also that same mindset with parents, or things that even parents want to see for their kids when they get out of college.
Well, you're so amazing. I just love having conversations with you. Since the first time I walked in your school to discuss bringing our clients in for tours and, again, putting your school as one of the proposed schools, I've always enjoyed our conversations. You're such an educated young woman, and I tip my hat to you. I know I don't wear a hat very often anymore, but I tip my hat to you. You've done amazing things here as an entrepreneur yourself, and you definitely have blessed the school systems of Panama. And again, thank you so much. Now, Felipe, I gotta talk to you a little bit beyond the restaurants, because again, you're also from Venezuela. You are a foreigner. You have a daughter in this country. Talk to me about being a father and a business owner in Panama.
Well, it's a big work to do, because being a father is the best work you can have in your life. You have to take care about everything, because you're teaching somebody to be a good person, to live the life in the right way. But have a restaurant have many challenges too, because it's like you are a father of 40 people working at the same time.
Oh my gosh,
you have to take care about them, about how they feel, how they work. You have to take care about your team. And sometimes you put your best side on side of them, so you can have a time to talk to them and see what happened on their life too. And you get involved too. Because sometimes that people spend the most time with you working 8 hours, 10 hours, probably 12 hours working with you, spend more time with you than their families. So it's not easy all the time. But we make a good team over there. We make a good team. You have to be like a sensei to talk to all of them. So it's the same. It's almost the same. Being a father is a challenge every day, because you have to take care about the backpack and all the stuff. The girls going to the school. Then she comes back. You have to talk. What happened today? How was your friends? How was everything? It's the same. You got a restaurant. You have many friends coming in. All the guests, all the customers are your friends too. So.
That is amazing. And again, how you mentioned that the balance. I have obviously in the past, how we know each other, own publications that have to do with restaurants, that have to do with tourism. So I'm well versed on what it takes to run a restaurant, to own a restaurant, and to manage. Let's talk a little bit about the background. Like if somebody was looking at Panama, they have gastronomic background, or they've always dreamt of opening a restaurant. Walk us through the steps. What would you suggest to anyone thinking about that industry?
All right. First, you have to look the locations. Is the first, because you want to be on the best location where the people are. Then you have to understand the Panamanian market, because here in Panama we have like really good restaurants, a good of the best of Latin American. So you have to understand what the people in Panama wants to. So you have to move on the market to make a success restaurant.
So location, understanding what proposal you're going to offer.
Yeah.
Obviously, you want to be unique. You want to stand out. You want to attract the masses. So these are all huge. I mean, these are huge things in any country. But they say if you can open and successfully own a restaurant in New York, and I tell people if you could open and successfully run a restaurant in Panama, if you look at the demographics, we don't have that many people in the country. Just over 4 million in the whole country, and then how many of those people are actually able to enjoy a meal out 2, 3, 4 nights a week? So you got to look at the demographic. Obviously, we have a lot of foreigners coming in, as we've been discussing, but we also have a lot of tourists coming in. So how do you personally focus on the tourists, in getting those tourists through your front doors?
All right, I focus on giving them an experience, a culinary experience, making a match between the Panamanian food, going to fusion kitchen. So what I'm doing, it's a fusion kitchen with a Panamanian stuff and so many ingredients around the world. So I'm mixing all and create a new recipes that never seen before.
I love it. Okay, so again, I wish you the best with this new project. I know you are absolutely amazing. When you called me and told me, hey, I'm opening a new restaurant, it's health driven, I was just like, Felipe, you're spot on. This is such a great idea. You're going to be hugely successful. Obviously, anybody looking to understand more about his restaurant, all of those contact details will be in the text of this post. But go ahead and give your Instagram in case anyone's looking to connect with you right away.
All right. I'm going to give you the restaurant. It's at Escarola.
Okay.
Start with S. Escarola Restaurant on Instagram. And mine are at F Mallorca on Instagram too. So I'm posting some recipes, what we do every day. Sometimes we're making salads and all the stuff. But at the restaurant, you can see our events, what we have on Saturdays, weekends.
Awesome. Well, guys, so definitely check out their Instagram. Follow him as well. He's posting all kinds of great things. I see your posts all the time.
Yeah.
Thank you again for coming. Now, guys, I want to jump back over to Miss Lee. Miss Lee, again, thank you so much for coming in and for all of your insight and education on, again, people looking for coming to Panama to start a new life, and they have school-age children.
It's the place to be.
It's the place to be.
Panama is the place to be. If you're really looking for a wholesome way to grow your children, Panama has one of the best atmospheres ever to be able to have and enjoy what family life should be.
I love it. Now, anyone wanting to communicate or contact you directly, please tell us how they can do that.
You can follow us on Instagram. I mean, it's a very, very easy way. United School of Panama, and you'll be able to connect.
Awesome. Well, guys, again, this has been the first episode of Pana'Gringo, a podcast for living in Panama. So make sure to tune in. Of course, we're putting this on our YouTube channel. This will be all over the internet. Tell your friends. We're going to be doing this to start every 2 weeks. So we're going to be doing 2 episodes per month. And again, talking to amazing individuals living the dream here in Panama. And guys, definitely, if you're looking to connect more with myself, go to dopanama.com. And we look forward to talking to you again. Until next time, ciao.